Bu Nator Shil Yachad Nuwabakedi Waloy Maorwo, the pledge of the United Nuwabian Nation of Moors. Ama Kakdemu Sefunut Hade Gedash Manuf, as I stand beneath our sacred and holy flag. Kanderu Ruki Maul Te Kehikano Ama Kashgeru Zitaur. I vow to be loyal, obedient as I watch it fly. Ru Ganunwu Shil Manub Naonut Faref Nawus Weloinut, to the laws of our constitution that govern our nation. Ru Hare Sabu Kahmelu Tubusubhem, to this cause I hold my head up high. Akara Garur Kantero Ru Harus Hade Tahum, with pride I pledge to protect and defend. Kalu Akara Hare Walao Weloy Kalu Hanuf Hade Samur, all within this great nation, both family and friend. Ru Yankud Faref Karetkut Mu Adorhut Hagoyu, to ensure all has their equal rights. Ru Hare Sabu Kazur Gedu Atnachum, to this cause I will lay down my very life. Ama Kapdemu Tachuth Haresan Un Hade Gedash Danun, as I stand beneath this sacred and holy seal. Kanderu Nafusum Mewa Chelas Hade Kazut Menu Tiat Mewikanu Akara Khera. I vow myself loyal, sincere, and vow integrity with zeal.
So sitting next to you, or sitting behind you or front, so sitting next to you, you might be sitting next to a black devil.
It states in Psalms chapter 82 verse 6, I have said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
This is the Elder Raziel with a message for the children of the IBRAHIM. I walked a long journey on the short path, grafted this mind expands math itself. Came through with the master teacher. Get wealth from what I have to teach you. Not a preacher, the Anunnaki created this creature, fully packed with features. NUWABU, knocking off leeches. Peace to Malachi, Ziyor, Noble Jew Ali, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Respect and pay homage from the NUWABIAN tribe. We hope to see you. We still kicking the flows. All the girls know. Just listen to the show so your mind grows toward a genetic explosion. X out whoever was chosen by deception to sell out Negro, the greatest destruction. Without question, knowledge is a weapon. Like Cain, ain't no half-stepping to a greater direction.
I wanna talk to y'all real quick, you know what I'm saying? Get personal shit. Hard to play, family man. Hard to play. You don't even know where the family stand. Too many egos, too many voices that ain't reaching out to people. I'm at 64. I mean real blood. Pops ain't home, but if he still was, minus the allegations. I wish I knew if it was really true or fabrication. Some of your kids think you did it, got me looking at you strange. Like would they be the same if they ain't grow with the pain? I mean 200 kids you couldn't find the time for. Do you regret not making time for us? Still screaming free you. Unanswered questions got me wanting to go see you. I'm sure you was dealing with pressure just trying to be you. Heard your own son ratted on you to them people. That's nasty. Even if you did it, the thought would've never passed me. As if you asked me. Everybody out for self. Quicker to go to friends before I ask family for help. I'm tired of people asking me why Jacob don't help. I don't know. Damn. It feel like we drowning in quicksand. They throw more salt, I'm thinking they reaching for my hands. 500 acres, Egyptian theme on the land. Way too much power and to be a black man.
I'm talking to the Anunnaki. With me, I'm talking with Inky. Murtuk. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with Inky because I know who Inky is. I know who Inky's family is. I know who Inel is. And I know who Anu is. I know when the Holy Tablets was coming, I know who was there and what it was talking
Right
to.
knowledge.
Behind the face of Anu, there was a force that goes back further than that, 9 dimensions. But
Right knowledge radio.
For the mortal ear at the time. Right. That's why in Christianity they use the word faith. You know, or in Islam they use the word mu'min or iman, faith. But when it comes down to Nuwabian, they say, listen, Nuwabians, let me teach you about Anu and Enki. They want me to make God manifest for us so we will believe. That sounds very familiar, right? Yeah. They want everything. They don't want to put any trust in their leaders or their teachers. They want me to put everything on. Had I gave them everything the way it was coming to me, the devil would have long time, the reptilian shapeshifters would a long time saw where I was going and nipped it off. I had to put out sporadic. I had to jump from place to place. I had to jump from name to name. I had to jump from religion. And in each one, every time I gave you a little something more. Right. About the whole big picture, which we now come down and put. Now you're going to start seeing the whole picture come together as one thing, and you're going to see everything from day one, from the day one, from the day.
Right knowledge radio. That last song you heard was by New York is Dr. York's son and Sadim Muhammad. And this is your host, Tutashuma Herokayu, coming to you today. What is today? What is the Caucasoid day? It is July 18th, 2024. The Nuwabic date we have up here, year 83, second week, 9th day, the day of Ninti, Tashu Ninti. So there we go. Now, this show, we're only going to go over one section of the 9-ball. That's going to be count 3, section E. But there's been some interesting things going on in Africa that I want to talk about. In Burkina Faso, Mali, and Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and Niger. So let's check this out. Hold on. We're gonna go to YouTube real quick. And it's a young brother. His name is IBRAHIM TREORE. And let me give a little background of what I've been seeing and what I've been hearing. So the ECOWAS basically is a puppet of France and the United States. There's been a couple of coups in Burkina Faso. I think it goes back to a brother named Thomas Sankara. And then there's another dude after that, I cannot remember his name. And then Ibrahim Traore, his section of the military took him out, and he's been president for 2 years. Now he's supposed to transition out, but the people love him so much. They love this Moorish brother so much. They don't want to have free elections. They just want him back because he's talking about building, getting agriculture equipment, working with the Russians to getting grain, kicking out France, changing the national language back to a Burkina local language as it should be. I mean, they're removing all European influence. So is Niger, and so is Sierra Leone, and Mali. Mali's like right behind Burkina Faso. So this is all interesting to me. So I want to play a little bit of this video here. And this is huge news.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical products.
So let's watch this.
A journey to one Africa.
We should probably start watching more Nubian news because we see people who look like us. Not the same nationality, we don't all speak the same languages, but we are of the same race. So it's good to look and see what's happening over there. But this is kind of getting to the story slow. Actually, let's see this. This might be IBRAHIM TREORE and his entourage pulling up. You see the flag right there on the Rolls Royce. And I hope this is a Moor rolling in like this. This looks real good for our people, but if not, it's okay. Oh yeah, that's a Burkina Faso flag. That's probably IBRAHIM TREORE about to get out. Oh no, it's a white man. Damn. Ah, but it's IBRAHIM TREORE that got out. See how they love him? Even Caucasians love him. That's right, brother. Get in there. Get in there. We like it in Turtle Island. Actually, let's pause this. I'm telling y'all, this brother doing like, this dude is like, I don't even think a freedom fighter is really the word. He's only 34 years old. He's the head of state in Burkina Faso. He's meeting with Vladimir Putin. There go the brother right there. Come on now. Yes. Ruanu, all praises due. All praises due. This is a miracle. This is truly a miracle. Moors are going back to where they should be. We're coming back to where we should be all across the planet. Even though the American Negro is dead, Moors who are awake should recognize what's happening, because Noble Drew Ali wanted us to return back to the table.
Уважаемый господин президент,
Noble Drew Ali and the master teacher, that's why he created us a nation, so one day we'll be sitting down at the table with a Vladimir Putin. But I know a lot of dead Negroes don't see this, or excuse me, a lot of dead Malachites. People just follow Dr. York, but they don't follow NUWABU. So they're like fans, like LeBron James fans or something like that. But that's not what the master teacher came to bring. He didn't come for you to be his fan. He came to make you into a bright student, and so you can build in your area whenever that is time. But this is a beautiful thing. Let's just keep going.
уважаемые друзья, коллеги,
dear friends and colleagues,
я рад. Да. Окей.
let's wait.
Уважаемый господин президент, дорогие друзья, прежде всего хочу выразить вам признательность за то, что вы откликнулись на приглашение и нашли возможность принять участие в работе второго саммита Россия-Африка. Думаю, вы согласитесь со мной, встреча была полезной, разнообразной, люди высказывали свои мнения, и эти мнения были разными, но все-таки вся работа проходила в духе
was in the spirit of friendship and mutual understanding, and we were searching for solutions to any problem, and everybody was interested in finding such solutions. During the summit, we discussed different areas of cooperation between our country and the African continent, and our today's meeting will help us to talk about our bilateral relations and maybe set some plans for their further development. The countries between our countries, our relations are friendly. Traditionally, last year we celebrated 55 years since the diplomatic relations were established between our countries. We know that in your country, everybody likes Russia, and you are interested in our country, and I heard about that from your short address yesterday. On our part, we also think that it is very important to develop relations with Burkina Faso. We decided to resume the activities of the Russian embassy, which was closed in 1992. And I'm sure that our embassy will help us to continue to develop our relations. Our political dialogue is consistent. In December 2022, your Prime Minister of your transitional government visited Russia. And in June, there were talks between our defense ministries countries. Also, the interparliamentary connections are being strengthened, which is also important, and we're ready to develop our trade and economy ties. Our trade is not as impressive. The level of trade is not as impressive, even compared to the level of trade with other African countries. But we're also working together on different agreements and treaties concerning civil aviation and sports and education and qualification.
See, they talking about real economic trade, not this fake Moor science temple or fake Nuwabian young elder or the Sabians. These are real nations with real constitutions. Real heads of state are talking. Men are at the table talking. So all the niggas can leave because niggas aren't real men. Niggas just run the streets. Heads of state roll in Rolls Royces and have bulletproof armor vehicles and things like that. And they look out for their people. They're not pulling a scam. They're not trying to sell classes or, you know, make up a language. Those are what niggas do. So, let's skip ahead to where Ibrahim. Well, actually, we're gonna play this whole video. We're not in the rush.
Содействовать вашей стране в подготовке национальных кадров в России по гражданским специальностям. В 2023-2024 учебном году для Буркина-Фасо выделено 10 государственных стипендий. В случае заинтересованности рассмотрим возможность увеличения этой квоты. Между нашими странами налажена координация по актуальным вопросам международной политики. Отмечаем хороший уровень взаимодействия в ООН и других международных организаций. В июне правительством России принято решение о внесении в фонд Всемирной продовольственной организации ООН для оказания гуманитарного содействия ряду стран в качестве добровольной помощи 10 миллионов долларов, из них $2,5 пойдет на Буркина-Фасо. Уважаемый господин президент, уважаемые коллеги, друзья, мы искренне рады вас приветствовать в России. Я рад нашей сегодняшней встрече. Благодарю вас.
D'accord. Donc, bonjour à tous, Monsieur le Président. Donc, c'est un honneur pour nous d'être
It's a great honor for me to be here today at the second summit of the Russia-Africa Forum, as you pointed out yesterday. And I would like to express...
You know, most of the brothers and sisters in all the Nubian countries speak well over like 4 or 5 languages. But they say Americans are superior. But Americans can only, the majority of Americans, it's actually a joke internationally that Americans can only speak one language. Joe Biden can only speak one language. Donald Trump, they can only speak one language. How intelligent are you if you can only speak one language? What is it? Fakat yatakalamu wahid alughati. Right?
Friendship at this important stage, Russian people and people of Burkina Faso are friends. Russia is conducting a special military operation. I would like to assure you that we support you, your government. Our people support your government. Yesterday we held a number of meetings and we noticed the variety of different problems that we encounter. And this morning we will be able to talk about our bilateral relations more. We talked about the embassy, the Russian embassy. Well, it was the Soviet embassy, which was closed in 1992, but we already took certain steps that would help you open the embassy again. I think that your military mission
he can also speak English too.
Be helpful in our region because there's a lot of turbulence in our region. and we would like to see changes in our policies. Some of our traditional partners are turning their backs to us, and now we can see who our real friends are. And Russia is our real friend and has been our real friend since we were a colony and continues to support us even today. I think that during the summit we learned about the events in Niger, where the military took over the government, and that affects us directly. And I mentioned that in my address yesterday. I also met with some heads of states on the sidelines of the summit, and they shared about things that happen in their countries, in our region. So indirectly, it's something that these are the challenges that Russia notices. So I think that we need to take into account these parameters in our diplomatic relations, and I also think that we need to work towards lifting all sanctions, and we want to see a multipolar world where every country is sovereign. We are fighting against terrorism currently, and we have different partners in this fight, but we're all neighbors, and I hope that we will be able to be effective in this fight. Today we're going to hold a meeting with the government of the Russian Federation, and just like you said, there's a lot of potential for our bilateral relations, but we signed an agreement between a Russian company and businessmen from our country. We are talking about the export, and we hope that we will be able to develop this industry, because often there are problems in this.
Okay, so he's basically talking with Vladimir Putin about the French were there, but the French really didn't battle terrorism. It was only under the guise of terrorism that the French wanted to maintain their influence over Burkina Faso, and Mali also, and Niger. So they're just there, yeah, we're fighting terrorism a little bit, but we don't want terrorism to go away, because that's our purpose of us being here, right? So we're going to fight it, but we're not going to eliminate it, because we want to be here to dominate your gold, your stones, and your raw materials, which you ship to France, and then we make products out of it and then sell it back to you. Burkina Faso and all the African nations, Nubian nations, we're getting pimped. Now they wake up, they kick the French out, and they become friends with the Russians, right? You know, the United States don't want to see this at all, and France doesn't want to see this at all. You know, for some reason, they hate Russia. All these, even Russians are Caucasians, but they're a different Caucasian group. When you're dealing with France and all them, those are like Germanic Caucasians, a subgroup of the Caucasian race. Now we're dealing with Slavic. Russians are Slavic peoples. They're under the Slavic sub-race of the Caucasian. Read, let's set the record straight. Right? And also the Turkish people who tried to rewrite Islam are also Slavic peoples, but they're kind of racist. So, but we're not talking about that now. But the brothers at the head of the state, Burkina Faso, Russia, are talking about nations being cooperative, having a single lateral business deal between the two nations. Now, this is beautiful to see, man. So I just wanted y'all to see that. I think a lot of the episodes coming up, I'm going to be talking about this. I'll be following IBRAHIM TREORE myself, getting more of the story. You got Rwanda. He's leading a whole bunch of nations to start rejecting European powers. There's a whole bunch of them. If you just search YouTube, all the Nubian news channels, you're going to see it. You're going to see it. And a whole bunch of nations are starting to pull out. And actually, Morocco actually reached out to Burkina Faso and wants to do a deal also. So the world is changing. The United States is losing power, as the master teacher predicted. This has all been predicted by our master teacher, the Messiah, His Excellency. Sorry, I'm so excited I can't talk. I'm a Nubian. Join the nation. All right. So enough of these. We need to. What happened? Okay, here we go. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. I don't know why this thing does this. No, I don't want to show this. Hold on, I gotta close this window and open it back up. Alright, so let me get it now. Here we go. Alright, we're gonna read section E. Now, I do have an announcement for those watching the show. The few that do, we really appreciate that here at the Nation and at Right Knowledge Radio. Now, if you've been watching the show, inshallah, at the last episode, at the end of count 4 of reading the 9-ball, we're gonna have a prize, like I said in the previous episode. The prize is a free copy of the hardcover book, Man from Planet Risk. This is a $55 book. If you read The Man from Planet Risk and you don't want your paperback copy to get damaged, definitely buy this on Amazon. We've had a couple sales, so things are going well there. And if you're an astute student, you've been watching the show, and you can answer 3 questions. I'm going to ask 3 questions, and you can answer in an email. I don't want you to put in the comments, in an email. So there it is. You get a copy of this book. Some of the diagrams have color in them. Some don't. We've updated some of the colors. Oops. And let me get this straight. In the book. So the book is a very high quality hardcover, like I said, and if you can answer 3 questions about the 9-ball. The 9-ball is important because it's the foundation of NUWABU. This is before the religious part. See, NUWABU has nothing to do with religion, only how NUWABU is applied to religion. And it's a doctrine. A doctrine just means the teaching. It means teaching in English. Or maybe in Creole English. Because I don't think that ch sound is English. I think that came from French with the Battle of Hastings, right? So, okay, we're going to read count 3, section E, called Integration and Miscegenation. 45. Integration of the races is an instrument of race destruction because it leads to miscegenation, which is interracial sexual mixing. Jews are the ones who plan to organize the integration movement of blacks and whites by blacks soon after the turn of the century, but Jews then and now are the most devout segregationists in the world. Pause. Even to today, Israel has some of the strongest anti-immigration laws on the planet. So the master teacher knew this back in 71, and it still continues out to this day. But then in other countries, Jews want to, the Jews, W.E.B. Du Bois, the Black Boule, that was all started by Jews, right? The B'nai Grif section of Freemasonry. So listen to Stephen Coakley about that. Stephen Coakley. I'll put a link to the show in the show notes. Stephen Coakley is a very important brother, very important a Moorish freedom fighter. Trust me, the brother did excellent research. Excellent research. He's one of us. He's from Turtle Island, even though he thought he was from Africa. Which is okay. Like I said, we're all the same race of people. We're just different. We have different genetic variations, and we speak different languages. The tribal languages that we speak over here are not like the tribal languages speak over there, but we are connected. So I don't want to hear the Dane Callaways talking about anti-African. No, we ain't. How could we be anti-Nubian? How we're the same people. We're not the exact same people. We're the same race of people. But it doesn't end there. You need your nationality. You got to have a language. You got to have a tribe. You can't just be black. And black's just a legal status anyway. So anyway, let's keep reading. I know I'm ranting, but I have things I have to say if you're going to watch my channel. Right? So let's keep going, brothers and sisters. They even segregate against other whites. If the other whites would say, Mr. Jew, you advocate integration with Ethiopians, but why don't you show us how to do it by integrating with them yourself? If other Caucasians would present their objections this way, liberal Jews would be stuck as the great hypocrites and great deceivers of woolly-haired people that they are. 46. Caucasians integration bit in general is designed to deceive and mislead Negroes, that Negroes may think that one day everyone of every race will be the same in the sense of that differences in races will be discarded. Of course, this is nonsense and misrepresentation. By nature, this never was and will never be. Take note that there is no one but Ethiopian Negroes who is pressing to integrate with Caucasians or any other race. Other races can know that the venomous serpent called integration means self-destruction by help of other races. Caucasians can know that the strange animal known as pretended integration will help Ethiopians mentally and economically depend on their enemies, the Caucasians. 47. Integration is a farce. Integration is a farce and a cruel hoax perpetuated upon woolly-haired people, Let me read this again. 47. Integration is a farce and a cruel hoax perpetuated upon woolly-haired people in their ignorance. We woolly-haired people should stop and reason and ask ourselves, why do Caucasians segregate themselves from others and discriminate against others? Well, there are two basic reasons. One, to preserve their race, and two, to misuse and exploit other races. The number one reason follow the dictates of intelligence, but number two is the result of an animalistic and oppressive nature most animals possess. The Caucasian race has a greater oppressive and death-dealing nature than other races because it is the personification of the perfection of death, the last stage of evolution, and evolution is the manifestation of the death of the universe. 48. What other way is there for a race to preserve itself unless it practices racial separation? It is not natural for the races to socialize, for this leads to miscegenation, and miscegenation is race destruction, and no intelligent race wants itself destroyed in any way. The Ethiopian race should be the least desirous of miscegenation, loss of race identity, because the Ethiopian race is the personification of the original creative forces, and the original creative force grew the universes and the original beings thereof. Therefore, the Ethiopian race is superior by nature. However, like all other races, our race has members who are unintelligent. And if the unintelligent members of the Ethiopian race seem to be more in number in proportion than in other races, it is because the adverse forces of the moon cycle, the worst cycle on the circle for woolly-haired people. So it's basically us former Negroes and now Nuwabians and Negroes who are still stuck in this mental death have inevitably by wanting to mix with other races and not be oneself, because one does not know who self is, are causing their own destruction, right? Especially mixing with Caucasians. All right, got to take a break after 49. So let's go to 49. 49. Ethiopian culture is just the opposite of the Caucasian culture, known as civilization. Therefore, the answers to our problems are found in the restoration of our own culture. The restoration of our own culture is the restoration of our right minds by 9 knowledge produced by the Ethiopian science of 9 reason. We must learn to do things the Ethiopian way instead of the Caucasian style. These booklets, the 9 ball, will open the door to Ethiopian culture and help restore it by presenting the do-it-yourself solution to our racial and captivity problems. All right, we are back. I had to check. I'm transferring water into my water tank, so I had to check on that real quick. And I had to check on the solar panels and the control, the solar controller, so, and my battery bank. Got to keep an eye on that stuff, y'all. So, let's go. Number 50. Wearing wigs, straightening woolly hair by whatever means are not Ethiopian culture. And as long as Ethiopians do this, other races can know the person who does it is a mental slave who wants to be someone of another race and thereby can be misused against self and own kind, mentally, physically, and sexually. One form of sexual misuse is miscegenation, by which means Leviathan is using to destroy our beautiful woolly-haired Ethiopian race, especially by way of our woolly-haired females. We must halt this trend by liberating ourselves mentally and then physically. The intelligent among us, woolly-haired people, can do this by uniting our minds in 9 knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. 51. The Negro, the mentally dead Ethiopian, wants everybody of other races to like him or her, but this everybody like me road does not lead to liberation and well-being. If someone dislikes you because you want liberation and desire freedom for yourself and your race, that person is your enemy. If anybody hates you because you advocate separation and speak preservation for yourself and your race, that person is your enemy. Also, just like France is the enemy of all these Nubian countries, France don't want to get out of there. They want to keep domination over the natural minerals and the minds of the folks in those, countries, which isn't right for sovereignty. If you want sovereignty, you got to be the best influence for your people, because who knows your people better than themselves? So 52. Also remember this, woolly-haired Ethiopians. If anyone tells you that the knowledge disclosed in these booklets, the 9 ball, and Bible interpretations and explanation is not the necessary information for your liberation, preservation, and well-being, that person is your enemy, and he wants you to remain a captive. Forget about being liked by all. Just be right. Furthermore, if any woolly-haired person of the Ethiopian race reads the booklets, the 9 ball, and also Bible interpretations and explanations, and conclude that these are not in his best interest and the best interest of his kind, that person is unintelligent and his own worst enemy and a traitor of his own race. 53. How can a person have race pride when he does not know that he is a member of a race or does not know what race he is a member of? This is the miserable mental condition of the Negro, a condition which these booklets will help destroy. If your hair grows genuinely kinky, you are a member of the Ethiopian race. Now, pause. Now, my grandmama, who is a full-blooded Aniuwea, did not have kinky hair. And she was blue-black, and she didn't have kinky hair. So I get what the master teacher was trying to say back then, but not all Nubian, Moorish peoples or American Moorish peoples, or Nuwabian Moors, whatever you are, you're a Moor, do not have genuinely kinky hair. You know, because I've seen it myself. It's in my family. You know, so all right, let's go to 54. Everyone who grows genuinely kinky hair by nature is Ethiopian by race, but only those with intelligent non-knowledge mind are Ethiopian by mind, and the latter is the matter that creates and liberates. All right, so the next show we'll be reading the 9-ball count for Liberation Information, published by those who care, written by Wunupu, Asunupu, and Nabanupu. Well, in Nuwabic, we don't have P in our language, so we would say Wunubu, Asunubu, Nabanubu. It would look like it's produced in 1972. All right, so we're going to sign off. We're going to play Insadine Muhammad's Dear Dr. York again. We played it in the beginning. We're also going to play it at the end because I think this song is probably the best song he got. And it just means so much to us Nuwabians to hear one of his sons speak out within the medium of music. So with that said, we're going to end the show with Insadine Muhammad's music. I hope you enjoy it. I know the brother put a lot of hard work into this. It's that New York boom bap sound that we all craving to hear again. We don't want to see New York fall off. It's the initial inspiration for hip hop. Wadu,
get personal
brother Tutashi Mun's out.
Hard to play, family man. Hard to play. You don't even know where the family stand. Too many egos, too many voices that ain't reaching out to people. I'm at 64. I mean real blood. Pops ain't home, but if he still was, minus the allegations. I wish I knew if it was really true or fabrication. Some of your kids think you did it, got me looking at you strange. Like would they be the same if they ain't grow with the pain? I mean 200 kids you couldn't find the time for. Do you regret not making time for us? Still screaming free you. Unanswered questions got me wanting to go see you. I'm sure you was dealing with pressure just trying to be you. Heard your own son ratted on you to them peoples. That's nasty. Even if you did it, the thought would've never passed me. That's if you asked me. Everybody out for self. Quicker to go to friends before I ask family for help. I'm tired of people asking me why Jacob don't help. I don't know. Damn. It feel like we drowning in quicksand. They throw more salt, I'm thinking they reaching for my hands. 500 acres, Egyptian theme on the land. Way too much power and to be a black man.
I'm talking to the Anunnaki. If it's with me, I'm talking with Inky. Murdoch, you know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with Inky because I know who Inky is. I know who Inky's family is. I know who Israel is, and I knew this. And I know when the Holy Tablets was coming, I know who was there and what it was talking to. Right. And it's behind the face of Anu, there was a force that goes back further than that, 9 dimensions. But everything was not for the mortal ear at the time. Right. That's why in Christianity they use the word faith. You know, or in Islam they use the word mu'min or iman, faith. But when it comes down to Nuwabian, you say, listen, Nuwabian, let me teach you about Anu and Inky. They want me to make God manifest for us so we will believe. That sounds very familiar, right? Yeah. They want everything. They don't want to put any trust in their leaders or their teachers. They want me to put everything on. Had I gave them everything the way it was coming to me, the devil would have long time, the reptilian shapeshifters would have long time saw where I was going and nipped it off. I had to put out sporadic. I had to jump from place to place. I had to jump from name to name. I had to jump from religion. And in each one, every time I gave you a little something more. Right. About the whole big picture, which we now come down and put. Now you're going to start seeing the whole picture come together as one thing, and you're going to see everything